that left England some hours ago, headed for the Middle East. Are they really going to drop a nuclear bomb in the Persian Gulf?
I have absolutely no doubt that the United States and or Israel or in a joint operation are going to utilize a tactical nuke and to pick a nuclear bomb in the coming days. I fear that greatly, and I think it will happen.
It's almost impossible to believe that we're having this conversation open in the morning. It's likely the stock market will crash everywhere. Gas prices, petrol prices,
It's so hard to believe that people are talking about this now. This is just one example, the clip I showed. There are many other examples. Commentators are talking about this. Is it going to go nuclear? Is it going to be a thermonuclear war? That is the way it seems to be heading. What's the other option? Is it going to de-escalate? No, there's no signs of that whatsoever. Where is it all heading? Well, they're running out of missiles. Both sides are running out of missiles. Both sides are running out of military assets, munitions and military guidance systems and defense systems. Looking at the figures, both sides are using up thousands of missiles every day. The military factories cannot replenish the numbers fast enough. The numbers are staggering. So just on the Israeli side, the numbers are they have been firing several thousand, it's more than 1,000 per day, several thousand missiles designed to attack targets. That was, the figures are at least 7,000 in 7 days, but it's more than that. It's several thousand in several days. That's designed to attack. Now the missiles designed to defend are at least double that, but maybe quadruple that. Talking about Iron Dome defense and things. So we're talking about tens of thousands, maybe 20, 30,000 missiles in 7 days. They're running out. They pretty much run out, and the factories are going into overdrive to replenish those stocks. That's on the Israeli side. On the Iranian side, similar figures. Thousands of missiles designed to attack, thousands of missiles designed to defend, to surface to air, to take out incoming attack missiles. They're running out. The factories go into, in Russia and China, the factories are going into overdrive to replenish the stock, send it to Iran to replenish the stockpiles. This can't continue. It can't continue from the point of view of they're running out of the raw materials to make the military assets. Not just the missiles designed to attack and defend, but all the guidance systems. They're all the ones that are getting targeted and blown up and need to be replacing. That uses up so much silver and copper and other elements. The numbers are staggering. Can you imagine tens of thousands of missiles and guidance systems all spread across, like, say, 100 acres of farmland? You imagine all these tens of thousands of, that's all what's got blown up in the last couple of days and needs to be replaced. The numbers are staggering. It can't continue, but they're trying to continue. They're trying to replenish those numbers. They're trying to buy all that silver and copper and all the other things. There's so many other, I talk about silver and copper because they're the first two elements that are going to go extinct in industrial quantities. But there's loads of other elements that are essential. These systems cannot be made without them. They are running out. And the whole world is frantically scrambling to buy the last of them. This is one of the reasons why it's all escalating to thermonuclear war. Now, could it just be one tactical nuke dropped on Iran and that's the end of it? No, that's what they would like to think. No. You've got the both sides, you know, you've got Israel and America and their reluctant allies, Britain, NATO, and some of those. Ukraine's obviously an ally, giving them some of their military equipment back that America gave them in the first place. And then you've got Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, and lots of the other Muslim nations who hate Israel, and lots of other nations around the world who hate America. You know, all the BRICS nations against America and Britain and their allies. Now, if one side does drop a nuke on any of the other side, what will be the retaliation? There's a lot of people asking these questions now. A lot of people are having these conversations. What will be the consequences? Is it going to be thermonuclear holocaust? All the nukes launch, they pass in the air. And what's the other option? Well, doesn't that put things into perspective? I mean, I've been helping people to deal with things that they're worried about, bailiffs calling round and they're getting nasty letters, you owe this much funds. Look, none of that matters anymore. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about those things. There's bigger things going on. You've just got to hold out. Do not worry about where you're going to live. I suspect this property caretaking, a lot of people are talking about property caretaker. There's a lot of people stop paying their rent, stop paying their mortgage, stop paying their housing costs, stop paying electricity, stop paying bills, council tax, TV license, gas, water, electric. They stop paying all those things and they're getting nasty letters. It's just automated. They might get bailiffs calling around. None of that matters. Just don't worry about it. If you're wherever you're living now, if you're renting and you do stop paying the rent, don't worry about it. You're not gonna, these things won't matter. The world's going crazy. I really hope there won't be a thermonuclear war. I really hope there won't be. But I mean, that would be terrible. Obviously that would be absolutely terrible. But the other option, if it's not a thermonuclear war, is almost equally terrible, to continue several thousand missiles in a couple of days, both sides. So whatever worries you've got, you've just got to hold out. Put things into perspective. You don't have to worry that much. The world is going crazy and people are having these conversations. The stock market is absolutely going to tank as all these businesses that had amazing forecasts. Only a week ago, the forecasts were looking good. Now the forecasts are looking terrible. Sales profits are going to go down. Expenses are going to go up as the price of fuel and energy goes up. Stock markets are tanking. The metals, the manipulation hasn't ended yet. They might manipulate for a bit longer. Just be patient. Silver and copper are running out. All that matters is you get real silver and copper in hand. Stack survival foods. I'm doing it again. I'm picking up. I'm increasing. I was very conservative, really, and I'm getting a bit more extreme now. I'm really stacking. Go to the supermarket. Go to the tin section. Look at what foods you will like. Your food will like. You know, there's all kinds of tinned food. If it's in a tin, it will last a long time past its use by date, as long as the seal stays intact. It stays dry and cool, doesn't get too hot. I'm stacking a lot more of that than I previously said. I'm stacking water. I've got a water filtration system, rainwater harvesting system, and other survival supplies. Be prepared for massive inflation and difficult to get hold of items in the future that are still quite easy to get hold of now. If you drive a hydrocarbon car, definitely think about storing some fuel. If you drive a diesel car, store diesel. If you've got a petrol car, try and store petrol. But jerry cans now and gas storage cans are looking very, very expensive. Someone said they're over £100 each. Now, I don't know, but very hard to get, very hard to store. But my advice is start storing. If you haven't started already, or if you have, then pick it up a bit. Survival preparations. We're in for a rough ride the next few years. Listen to this.
Open in the morning. It's likely the stock market will crash everywhere. Gas prices, petrol prices,
nuclear bomb in the coming days. I fear that greatly, and I think it will happen.
It's almost impossible to believe that we're having this conversation that left England some hours ago, headed for the Middle East. Are they really going to drop a nuclear bomb in the Persian Gulf?
I have absolutely no doubt that the United States and or Israel or in a joint operation are going to utilize a tactical nuke. And to pay
The world is now changing to such an extent. The world is changing so fast now that you might be able to just live for free in your rented accommodation. I mean, officially it'll be 2 years really until you officially get the goon squad calling around with a locksmith to turf you out. But by 2028, what will the world be like if you stop paying your rent now? Loads of people on Telegram are now asking the question, can I just stop paying the rent? Can I just stop paying? I mean, I don't know, can you? Are you competent? Stop asking permission from Stacey's World Rocks and these other Telegram groups. Start figuring out yourself. It puts you into a subservient mindset when you're asking permission for these things. If tenants all stop paying as a protest to the war, to the way the decisions that the governments are making, stop paying, and all these properties, imagine they all just get turfed out on the street and there's all these empty properties there. Well, they're just going to move back in, aren't they? This is what Dmitry Orlov is saying. And he's been talking about this for a while. They're preparing for the collapse of the banking system. He's saying now, stop paying rents. All tenants stop paying rents en masse. Just live there for free. And if you're one of the small percentage of people who do get kicked out, well, there's loads of other vacant properties. Now, the property that you got kicked out of is going to be vacant. Someone else will go and squat there. This is happening. This is how the world is changing so fast. I'm going to read a segment now from something Dmitry Orlov wrote. Think about this. Getting Prepared for the Great Collapse by Dmitry Orlov. Shelter poses a particularly interesting problem at the moment. It is still very much overpriced, with many people paying mortgages and rents that they can no longer afford, while numerous properties stand vacant. The situation, of course, is to cut your losses and stop paying. But then you might soon have to relocate. That is okay, because as I mentioned, there is no shortage of vacant properties around. Finding a good place to live will become less and less of a problem as people stop paying their rents and mortgages and get foreclosed or evicted, because the number of vacant properties will only increase. The best course of action is to become a property caretaker, legitimately occupying a vacant property rent-free and keeping an eye on things for the owner. What if you can't find a position as a property caretaker? Well, then you might have to become a squatter, which is the same thing really. Maintain a list of other vacant properties that you can go to next, and keep your camping gear handy just in case. If you do get tossed out, chances are the people who tossed you out will then think about hiring a property caretaker to keep the squatters out. The same thing. And what will you do if you become a property caretaker? Well, you squat, you take care of the property, but you also look out for all the squatters, because they are the reason you have a legitimate place to live for free. A squatter in hand is worth 3 absentee landlords in the bush. The absentee landlord might eventually cut his losses and go away, but your squatter friends will remain as your neighbours. Having some neighbours is so much better than living in a ghost town.